Laundry in my life happened the past 2 days. This is, I've had really good luck with red lights on the way to work. That is to say, the red lights are green, which means they're just traffic lights because, well, they're not really red lights. They're green, and they have all those, they have yellow in them too. And so I've caught them green for the better part of the last month or so. It's been uncanny that I've not had any interruptions really. I've pierced all the way down Route 8 and just straight most of the time. Sometimes maybe one, but I don't know. There must be 12 stoplights, and maybe between 8 and 12 stoplights. So the last 2 days, now people will know where I'm talking about if you travel in the north, especially on Route 8 and especially in through like Shaler and then in through Hampton and stuff. There are actually two places, Producer Matt, where Butler Plank Road hits Route 8. One is where the get-go is in the Big Giant Eagle. Okay?
Yep.
The other one is where the old lumber yard is, where the train tracks are down there. It used to be Star Lumber or Old Lumber or something like that. You know that one that I'm talking about? That light right there, I have hit coming southbound the last 2 mornings. Now,
that's a weird light.
That is a weird light right there. It's kind of a four-way because there's a little road that shoots back in there like Spencer Lane, some weird little street. That being said, there is not a soul around. Not a soul around. And I can see pretty far down the road. I can see in my rear view behind me. I can see to the right across the railroad tracks, and it's a big undertaking to get over there and make it through that light and whatever. And I can see to the left there's a little street that juts out, but you can see headlights and things down there. Now, here's an old Jim Colony situation. Now, yesterday, which was Wednesday, I sat there. The light took the better part of 45 seconds, a minute, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the radio and I wait for it to turn green. Then I started thinking this morning as I got it. Jim Colony once tried to sell me. In Jim Colony's world, you can't ever get into his brain and convince him otherwise than what he's thinking is correct. I mean, that's one of Jim's greatest qualities. He's convinced he's right. He tried to sell me one morning that if there's no one around and it's before like 5 in the morning, this was his call. He had a timeline on it and everything. If it's before like 5 in the morning and you can see free and clear that it's not a violation of the law to go through said red light like that. If you treat it like a four-way and it's safe, not that people will turn the other cheek or turn a blind eye, or that he said it's like in the books. If it's safe, you can.
That's the actual law.
That's the actual law.
If it's before a certain time.
Yeah. If it's in the middle of the night like that. It's meant for a reason.
People will let you get away with it probably.
But it's not the actual law.
The actual letter of the law, no.
Nonetheless, I risked it this morning, and I was going to use Jim Colony citing that law if I got pulled over as sort of my excuse.
Colony said so.
Right, I know. Come on. So, and it was going to be, there was probably a 50% chance that if I did get pulled over, it was going to be a cop that I knew, because I know a couple of them that work overnight, and I was going to explain to them. So anyway, I sat there for about 15 seconds this morning, but all the lights were green. It was green going the other way, and it was going to stay. Like, it was given no inclination it was going to change. And normally it's real quick. So I looked to the left, I looked to the right, and I felt this sense of, I felt like Bo and Luke Duke a little bit. You know, I felt this sense of...
Like an outlaw.
Yeah, a little bit. And I then went through it. It carried on down Route 8, and I looked in my rear view for a little while, and then I started thinking back again. All right, is it on the up and up if you're in the middle of nowhere and the light is red to kind of look around and just say, you know, I'm good here. Yeah. I'm not advocating breaking traffic laws.
Well, no, if nobody's around.
Yeah, like you're good, right?
Yeah. No, I've had that happen a couple times where you get up on a red light at whatever time it is we're driving in, 4 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And you go, oh, wait, that's...
Yeah, why is this red? It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't. Is that a car? No? Okay. Is there anybody else around? You kind of take... Yeah, you end up being overcautious, right?
Correct.
Because you want to make sure nobody's going to breeze through at 60 miles an hour and T-bone you. So you're looking around. I don't see anybody. Yeah, you know what? And then you just go mosey on through.
See, it was impossible for someone to T-bone me because of the way that the intersection's structured.
Even more
They
reason.
would have to come across and turn. They have to turn.
Even
there.
more reason you're safe.
because it's not like it's not a direct four-way.
Right.
It's kind of off. It's off. It's askew a little bit. So, but Jim is not right in that. What I did is illegal. Correct?
By the letter of the law, yes.
All right. But my
But if there-
conscience doesn't kill me on this.
No, and if there were a cop there, he's going to pull you. Well, that's a good question for our law enforcement friends.
Here we go.
If you see something like that, are you pulling that person over immediately?
No, they don't want to get out of there. They don't want to deal with that nonsense that time. He is right. For 6 a.m. non-major highways, they have red lights on them, should be blinking, and if not blinking, treated as stop and go.
Yeah, if
well,
they're
then why are they
blinking-
not blinking?
We all understand that. I think most of us understand that a blinking red light is to be treated like a stop sign.
Uh-huh.
We're not talking about the blinking red lights. We're talking about you came up on a solid
red light that was cycling but was just taking a long time.
Yes, that's completely different. Completely different.
People are all saying completely legal. It's called ride on red. You can't. It's red for a reason. If Jim knows something that I don't know about this is wild as hell. If it's actually legal to blow through a red light at that time of the morning.
Hold on, I'm looking this up now.
Ride on red?
Ride on red.
That's a real thing.
Hold on,
Something came up in Google, you're telling me. Ride on red.
Yes. Hold on. Wow.
I've got to call John Cecilia.
So listen, hold on. Listen,
Northern Regional.
I'm going to read this to you.
I
don't think it applies to your situation this morning or the same situation.
Was Jim a little loose with his understanding of this?
Yes.
Oh, that's odd.
Pennsylvania. This is from PennDOT's website.
Oh my gosh. Where's Cheryl Moon when we need her?
Pennsylvania motorcyclists and bicyclists rejoiced September 18th, 2016, when the state's Ride on Red law went into effect.
Okay.
What is the Ride on Red law, you ask? Simply put, it allows for any vehicle, car, bike, motorcycle, otherwise, to proceed with caution at an intersection if the traffic signal's vehicle detection system fails to recognize it. The signal should be treated like a stop sign in this scenario. It's important to note, however, that this all caps does not mean you can treat any red light as a stop sign. It must be malfunctioning.
Yeah, well, how do you know it's malfunctioning?
Therein lies the rub, yes. And it sounds like, how long do you give it before you just assume that it's malfunctioning?
Is that your out, like, all the time? If you go through a red light like
I'm
that,
sorry, officer.
It was
I
malfunctioning.
sat there for 30 seconds and nothing happened.
I figured
and no
it was
around.
malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Ride on red. And also there's this man. He's a semi-retired sports guy on the radio.
He
Jim
shows up
Colony.
at work to steal pizza.
Right. Oh, we'll get into that later.
The specific law is silent on how long a motorist must be sitting at a red light before it's considered to be malfunctioning, but PennDOT and the PA State Police encourage you to use common sense. The signal has to obviously be malfunctioning, either totally dark or frozen in the red mode, or go through several cycles without giving you a green.
Okay, we have official here. We have
PennDOT's website.
That is PennDOT's website has that. All right. Well, I am here to tell you that I believe we have something official.
Okay.
John Cecilia, the chief, well, you know him, police chief
Northern
at
Regional.
Northern Regional. He puts a legal end to this in a text, right? You can only go through a light if it is malfunctioning. Period. That's all he wants. That is his official statement from the Northern Regional Police this morning.
I think it comes back to your question, though. How do we know it's malfunctioning?
Yes.
If I sit at a light for 2 minutes and nothing happens, is that considered malfunctioning?